Hello everybody, my name is Robert Sagady, also known as the Commenting Collector. Thanks for joining me as once again, obviously I'm on the road. This time I'll be featuring iconic Minnesota legends. And our first stop takes us to the Charles Schulz Arena in St. Paul, Minnesota, the Highland Park area, the same high school that Hall of Famer Jack Morris graduated from, and real close to, as it also serves the hockey arena for Cretin-Derham Hall, and of course, that's the alma mater of Mr. Paul Molitor and Joe Mauer. So, buckle up. It's going to be a fun time, and it's all coming up right now. Well, thank you very much, Siri. This is the first time I've ever been to the Charles M. Schulz Ice Arena here in St. Paul. And there's a cool St. Paul hockey tribute. That may be the sign I'm looking for. Yes, indeed. I guess I got to go to the next arena. Wow, that's neat. As a former coach of my daughters, that's great directives. The state of hockey must be getting closer. Check out these skates. No, thank you. I brought my own, but my own skates are about 35 years old themselves. But before sharing some Peanuts cards with everyone, I thought I'd take a couple laps around. Against that wall, you'll see some of Cretin-Derham Hall's trophies and Hall of Fame, since this is their home ice arena. And those were the old skates I was referring to earlier. Mauer. Now that's a familiar name in these parts. Well, I guess the clock says 0, so it's time to share those Peanuts cards. After I finished my skate around, I asked the friendly staff person, Danny, if there were any Peanuts-related items in the arena. And she directed me to come upstairs, and wow, that's exactly what she was talking about. They had Peanut statues scattered around St. Paul in front of businesses about 15 to 20 years ago. She said this Snoopy statue was out in front of the ice arena, but it was starting to get in kind of rough shape. So they brought it inside to rescue it from the elements, and boy, does it look nice. I'm really excited to get looking at the Peanuts trading cards. First of all, there was a look at the arena that I was just down skating from a bird's eye perspective. Pretty cool. All right, let's get looking at those cards.
Okay, here we go. So it's a Peanuts. Bought these on eBay. These are actually 1991 Tuff Stuff. And there's the man. Appropriate that we're at the Charles M. Schulz Arena here in Highland Park, St. Paul, Minnesota. Jack Morris went to Highland Park High School, and this is actually the home arena of Cretin-Derham Hall, the alma maters of Hall of Famers Paul Molitor and Joe Mauer. So let's open up this pack. It's actually I shouldn't say pack, it's a set, but I don't think it's ever been opened before. Wasn't too expensive. Oops, got her open. Okay. So there was the cover boy, Charles M. Schulz himself. And he's a St. Paul native. Actually, correction, Minneapolis he was born. It's nicknamed Sparky and Sparkplug in the comic strip Barney Google. Interesting. Google before Google. Heroes, General Dwight Eisenhower, Billie Jean King, and Sam Snead. That's quite a eclectic group of heroes. He likes all kinds of sports, particularly golf, ice hockey, tennis, and baseball, and that I think that shines through in his cartoons. He dislikes coconut for some reason, so he's not a big fan of the pina colada. Professional training, the Art Instruction School Incorporated in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I wonder if that's affiliated with that ad that you see where if you can draw something, or if you draw the character, then you can send it in, and then they analyze it, and then they would accept you into their art school. Maybe I'll show a picture of that on the screen. I don't know if, I think that might be national, or maybe that's just a local thing. But anyway, so there he is, the man himself, Charles M. Schulz. Been nice to have this thing autographed, but rest in peace. It's brought lots of joy to kids and adults through the years, and through media, your legacy will carry on forever. Next, classic. I used to draw this as a kid. The classic Snoopy on his house. So number 2 is Snoopy. He debuted in October of 1950. I'm not going to read it all. You can just read it on the screen. There she is. You know what's going to happen next when Charlie Brown comes to kick that ball. Oh, that's a good trivia. I didn't realize, or I didn't recall that her last name is Van Pelt. Biggest thrill, pulling the football away from Charlie Brown. These are great cards. Got that good sense of humor. Again, this is Tuff Stuff Company put these out in 1991. The year, coincidentally, the Twins won the World Series. And the last major championship Minnesota has had since. It's been a long drought. That's cool. Yeah. Nope. They got him hanging upside down in a tree as his kite went astray. So there he is. Nickname Blockhead. Favorite sports hero, Joe Shiabotnik. Not familiar with him. I'll have to look that name up. Are any of you out there, are the viewers, familiar with Joe Shiabotnik? Heartthrob, the little red-haired girl. I wonder if we'll see her coming up later. Ambitions to win a ball game, to kick the football, to get his kite to fly. Linus, the classic, sucking his thumb with his trusty old blanket. Very cool. That's right, it's Lucy's brother. Another Van Pelt. Good facts that they show that he debuted in the strip November 1952. The same year, the iconic Mickey Mantle Topps issued set came out. First top set. So that's a big year. Biggest fear, parting with his blanket. Special interest, philosophy and the Bible. Yeah, that was a different time when cartoons and television could talk about religious issues. She is Peppermint Patty, asleep at the wheel. Yeah, you get some good trivia on these cards. Patricia, Peppermint Patty, Richard, not quite sure. Debut in strip, August 9th, 1966. And almost a year to that day later, I was born. Yours truly, the commenting collector. So this is right in this time zone, just a tad before. Of course, I love when Marcy refers to her as Sir.
But please quit calling me Sir.
That's awesome. It's got to be Schroeder. I'm doing this off memory. My kids are college age, so we haven't really watched a lot of Peanuts recently. But it's such an iconic memory from my youth, and obviously my kids' youth. And we still love watching the holiday specials. Card number 7, Schroeder. Debuted in 1951. That's when that Bowman set came out. His favorite day of the year, December 15th, which is Beethoven's birthday. He's big into Beethoven. He doesn't like Lucy leaning on his piano. Okay. Now we got some kind of action cards. I'm not your sweet Bababoo, or Babu.
Babu! No Babu! No Babu!
Babu. Sally Brown. Of course, that's Charlie's sister. She didn't debut until 1959. Interesting. She wants to be a nurse because she likes white shoes. Woodstock, playing baseball. It's one of Charles Schulz loves. One of his loves is baseball. Got to be careful. These are all mint right out of the pack, so to speak. Woodstock did not debut until 1965, so well after the comic strip debuted. So there was a long gap that they didn't have Woodstock involved. Yeah, understandable. He doesn't like Thanksgiving. Any holiday that features a bird as the main meal would not be very welcome for any of the bird family. Oh, ambitions to find his mother, to graduate from Eagle Camp. Oh, there's old Snoopy playing tennis. I wonder if Charles Schulz was still with us, that he might update that and have Snoopy playing pickleball. Mrs. CC and I would appreciate that. But back in the day, it was tennis. Referred to him as Joe Pro. Not to be confused with St. Paul icon, Hall of Famer Joe Mauer. I believe there's 33 cards in here, so we'll have to kind of speed it up. There's another of Charles's loves, golf. I enjoy playing golf, but I've never taken lessons, and therefore I'm not very good. But it's that one good shot per round that keeps me coming back. He's been spotted at the AT&T, the Masters, and the US Open. Yeah, this is a big time of year with the March Madness, opening of baseball, and the Masters. Playing some hoops. Very good. Oh, I thought that was a dog dish. The basket. You have to improvise, I guess. And this fits into the theme of the day here at the Charles M. Schulz Hockey Arena. A little hockey. Very cool. Yeah, growing up here in Minnesota, it's cool that you see something in the national spotlight that was actually positive, which it isn't anymore, but the fact that hockey, this is St. Paul, Minnesota, state of hockey. He's the mascot for the 75th anniversary of the National Hockey League. Oh, that's interesting. TCB and all the hockey fans, Canadian fans out there as well. There you go, rip them all. Very cool. Oh, we just had the Winter Olympics. The 1968 Winter Games in Grenoble, but only got as far as Kansas City. All right, there's Marcy doing a little outdoor ice skating. All the outdoor ponds basically melted away, but today they could have been operating as it's in the 30s, even though it's April. She came around in 71. Favorite activity, Tiny Tots concerts. Biggest challenge, keeping Peppermint Patty out of trouble. Gotta watch that, sir. All right. Franklin. The Peanuts' only brother. Just to keep it real, I guess, but love it. Oh, I didn't realize Franklin's favorite sport was baseball. Pretty cool. Source of information is grandfather. It's a great source of information. Oh man, this looks like a scene out of Breaking Bad or something. Looks like Snoopy is kind of, I don't know, looks like he's on some kind of drugs or something. Better be careful of that cactus. Could be dangerous. Oh wait, that's not Snoopy. I got fooled again. I don't know if I recall Spike. Let's see who he is. Didn't appear till 75. Guess they wanted to add another character. I don't know if he's related to Snoopy or not. Obviously he's a beagle. His dream girl, not the little girl with red hair, but the girl in the red truck. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. This could be Snoopy's outcast brother or something. Like I said, he's got the hat and everything. It looks like something out of Breaking Bad. That's awesome. Whoa, there's Pigpen. I guess we've all had those moments where you feel like you forgot to rake your hair. That's awesome. So far, well, I didn't get Spike, so I'm not batting 1,000, but we're up to card 18. Actually, Pigpen was early. He was an old schooler, 1954. Dislikes taking a bath. Yeah, wallowing in your own dirty water. Could never really understand that one myself. All right. The doctor is in. The psychiatric booth. Yeah, you know, for a kids show, they did touch on kind of a lot of adult themes. I guess therapy being one. You don't see that subject broached in too many cartoons, but it was also a funny storyline. I love this pose. That's great. Yeah, these cards are cool. Oh, he's a vulture. That's funny. Maybe that was Snoopy previously, but maybe that was Snoopy's alter ego, Spike, because this is Snoopy's alter ego, the vulture. Scowling practice. Yeah. I wonder if this was Charles Schulz alter ego as a writer. It was a dark and stormy night. The literary ace, the undaunted author. So these were all syndicated 1958. So I wonder what it was when they came out in the early 50s. They weren't syndicated? I wonder if it's public domain. I doubt it. Easter coming up. How appropriate is this? When I'm taping this, Easter is actually coming up this Sunday. He is risen. He is risen indeed. Easter Beagle. Expecting company. Who doesn't like a good s'more? S'mores on steroids. Love that. Camping. Who doesn't love camping? Only thing I don't like about camping is using those dang outhouses. Something sounds like Charlie Brown would say. I suppose I could be accused of being a Charlie Brown. I've been a blockhead many times in my life. Still am. Love the shades. If he's going to look at some refractors, those would be good equipment to have. Joe Cool. Yep. That was a whole brand in itself growing up, was Joe Cool. Smack. Interesting. Not the CK, but just the K. What would they title this one? Puppy Love is my guess. Am I going to get it right? No, but it should have been. Kissing Lucy on the Nose. There's nothing better than the wet nose of a dog. I've got 2 of them myself, or we have 2 of them. Yeah, if you're old enough like me, remember the play back in the day, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. That would be at local theaters or schools would do this. It's a great play, great songs. Yep. Should have washed my fingernails out. Rookie mistake. Excuse me for that. Okay, it opened Broadway in 1967, the year yours truly was born. Became the Hallmark Hall of Fame television special in both live actor and animation form. Yeah, boy, that brings back memories. When growing up, anything that was tag Hallmark Hall of Fame, you know it was going to be good. And I'm not talking about the Hallmark romances or whatever, the Hallmark Channel. These were actually really good television shows and probably made for television movies, but not romance like they are today. At least not how I remember them. Happiness is a warm puppy. Truer words have never been spoken. All you dog lovers out there. Yeah, Mr. Schulz must have loved his dogs. Okay, it was a book, or it was a scene, and it was a book titled "Happiness is a Warm Puppy." Yeah, a warm puppy. Yeah, there was a whole series of Peanuts books, paperback. I remember them. I have a few still. I think the one I have is called "What's Next, Charlie Brown." Oh wow, this is very timely. And 1972 was the last time, so we've been out. Journey, which I'm all for. This one's Peanuts in Space. Yep. Growing up in the early 70s, space travel, that was a big thing. And we've kind of lost sight on that, but the current administration with Trump has kind of rekindled NASA. Just letting you read that yourself. Oh, Apollo 11. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very timely. I did it. I'm the first Beagle on the moon. Yeah, because this all, the cartoon and stuff, that was all 1968, so it's very timely. Yeah, I had a album called, trying to think of what it was called. I'll put a picture of it on, it was a record album. It was called, I think it's called Snoopy and the Red Baron. And I used to play that all the time. The Flying Ace. Yeah, I mean, when this came out, I mean, it wasn't, I mean, we're talking the Vietnam era. The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's a classic. What's your favorite Peanuts holiday video? Christmas, which is great. Of course, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. They had a Thanksgiving one. I believe they had an Easter one. I think. I'll have to check that. But yeah. The Halloween one was by far my favorite. I shouldn't say by far. The Christmas one is really good too, but I love the Great Pumpkin. It never showed. And wasn't a good look for Linus. Okay. A Boy Named Charlie Brown. Oh, this was a movie. Yeah, they would actually come out with feature-length movies back as a kid. I remember those. We used to go to those. The film opened December 11th, 1969 in the famed Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Jazz score by Vince Guaraldi. I mean, doesn't get any better than that. That's my favorite, and a lot of people's favorite Christmas music is the jazz. Actually, when I was skating down in the arena just a little while ago, they actually had jazz music playing over the speakers. So I don't know if that was a tribute to Peanuts or not, but it was great to hear. Okay, here's your Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving special. Okay, it debuted November 20th, 1973. Yours truly, Commenting Collector, was only 6 years old. So that was perfect. Perfect timing. And when these came out, this was only once a year. So if you missed it, then you had to wait another year. There was no home media, obviously no streaming. So you had to make sure you didn't miss it. And then if you had to go to the bathroom, you might miss the Dolly Madison commercials as well. Maybe I'll play one of those, because those were just as iconic. I shouldn't say iconic, but they're just as ingrained in my memory as the specials themselves.
The folks at Dolly Madison want to get you out of town with Dolly Madison's Hawaiian Holiday Sweepstakes. Take off on Continental Airlines for a one-week vacation in Hawaii for a family of 4. Includes accommodations at the luxurious Hilton Hawaiian Village Hotel, plus spending money. And there are other valuable prizes: video games, tape players, pocket cameras, nothing to buy, entry blanks, and complete rules at participating stores or on Zinger boxes. So enter today. I'm ready.
Say hello to new Dolly Madison Super Zingers, a funny name for yummy devil's food cakes covered all over with chocolate-flavored frosting and popping with a creamy filling.
They're also enriched with vitamins.
You get 10 in every box, each in its own wrapper. Dolly Madison Super Zingers. Try the devil's food kind with Charlie Brown on the box.
Charlie Brown?
Or the vanilla ones with Lucy.
That was the big sponsor, the Dolly Madisons. And guess what? The last card, and appropriately, most people's favorite, the iconic Christmas scene. And they wouldn't ever be able to get away with doing this on today's television and its culture. The Christmas special. On December 9th, 1965, A Charlie Brown Christmas kicked off what would become one of the world's most watched animated popular series. And again, if you missed it, then you'd have to wait till next year. More than half the television sets turned on that night watched Charlie Brown in his attempt to find the true meaning of Christmas. This first Peanuts special won the prestigious Peabody Award as the Outstanding Children's and Youth's Program for the year 1965. It also took home an Emmy Award, and today remains among the highest rated Christmas special every year. Yeah, and of course they've got the iconic Linus. He recites scripture, and actually I think I'll play that. Hopefully I'll be allowed to, and I won't have any copyright strikes. But no, that does it. It's a great set. These are all kind of scrambled, but yep, it's an honor to be here today at the Charles M. Schulz Arena. For Charles M. Schulz, I'm Rob Sagady, also known as the Commenting Collector, saying good collecting.
Is there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.